I have some questions. Sometimes I understood that when you're trading and then you're getting, because I, according to my perspective, what I see, one of the problems that I have is that when I start trading, I mean, I'm okay standing or waiting for the stop loss to be reached.
Yep.
But I mean, I can I put a zone. I okay until this zone is reached. I can wait, not a problem. But when I'm winning, when I have profit, I'm getting nervous because oh my god, I need to close, I need to close, and I don't know why. Because if I am okay supporting or waiting for the stop loss, why I can't be okay waiting for my profit? So and that means that when I'm, let me ask you this: when I'm, if I get a trade, if I place an order
Hmm.
and then I'm winning, do I need to wait until like a two or maybe one candle or two candle in the opposite direction and then I close, or do I need to wait until the zone? Because that's like it makes me feel like anxious, like oh I don't know what I need to do. Actually, if you see the screenshot that I sent you,
Yep.
like a couple of times, like a three times, if I had waited, I
Would
would
have been
have
a little
got
more
more.
profit. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
I got nervous because I got two one candle, two candles. Oh my god, it's time to get out.
Hmm.
So it's like oh my god, what do you suggest? Because it's really like I don't know what to do, or maybe I need a way, because I have seen that in your videos sometimes it's like a one hour video is the whole day, and
Yeah.
you say oh my god, I'm trading. Let me get out because I have profit. So but you're trading
Exactly.
with 90 contracts and I'm just trading with one contract. So what is your suggestion? Do I need to wait for like until I get my profit, or is just like a better safe than sorry?
It's both, but it depends on the circumstance. So if you're entering a trade, I'm not even going to pull yours up actually, but if you're pulling, I'll just speak verbally. If you're in a trade and it's going, immediately in your direction, say it's a call, it's going up, everything's fine. Um, and then it gives, but you have a zone for a target above you, and it starts coming back against you just a little bit, basically, and maybe you're about break even. Especially like make sure to look at the P&L if you're break even or not, or like a little bit lower. You don't necessarily have to sell right there, right then and there, because you just entered the trade. You're probably in the trade for like hypothetically 1 or maybe 3 minutes, so you can give it that wiggle room. But for me, especially like in the video you're referencing, if it goes that maybe if we go back to it, we hypothetically enter a trade, it starts going up, but then it just gets choppy for I don't know 5 to 10 minutes straight, and I'm just like bouncing back and forth. Or hypothetically went down to be negative, came back up, went down, I'm negative again, and then came back up. If it's those two scenarios, then I'm like, okay, I just need to get out of this thing. I don't want to give. I've given it enough flexibility. Apparently, it's not going to work. Let me get out. You know. So if the charts seems like it's trying to give me information on the 1 minute candles that it's going against me and it keeps bouncing back and forth, let me get the hell out. If it just started and it went maybe one candle, two candles against me, I'll give it a little wiggle room, basically. Does that make sense?
Yeah, do you have the picture that I sent you? I would like to check with you because again, I
Yep.
feel comfortable with the most of the time I am right, but I can't wait. Well, this
Yep.
is like a today's. Yeah.
Yep. So let me screenshot it so I can draw on it for you. And yeah, that's fine.
Well,
Right.
I'm taking into consideration like the how you say like a multi days zone. I don't know how why you call it.
Yeah, multi-day zones, which is good
Yeah.
because those are really usually pretty good.
hmm So
And
I can I mean I put like a this kind of like a notes like a zone candle, then one, then I cancel because it was like a red, and then
yep.
I put a
Yeah, and you did all your entry was really great. I love your entries for the most part. They're actually so far the recent ones you've been giving me are perfect. Um, so to continue on the like same analogy, actually, what we mentioned earlier. So if you're entering here, on that part
yes.
there, get rid of that. I'll get the circle, and it basically so it went up with this huge green candle. Depending on what you enter, let's say you kind of entered at the bottom piece, it started going up, and you're in profit for this remaining of the 50 seconds.
hmm
The next candle basically started going down.
It's almost a
Realistically, you
dodgy. It's almost a dodgy. So it's like oh my god, it seems to be that's gonna change the right direction.
exactly. So I like even for me, I'd be like, damn, I guess maybe there was like, did I miss something? Like, is it not going to hit, VWAP? or maybe this zone or something. So everybody be panicking, right? But then the next one goes down as well, right? This following red candle. But
And then I
regardless,
close it. I close it. This, oh my god, I'm getting nervous.
yeah, which is fine because you're still new. But let me rephrase. So the same thing, like I said earlier, if you entered here, if I draw like the line over, or even if you enter like a little bit later here, you were still either slightly in profit or break even visually. So there was technically not even a reason for you to sell. Now, if it came down to, I don't know where your stop loss would be, but since you're new, I'd imagine like the bottom of this piece here. If it came
No,
down to
it's at the very bottom. It's at the very bottom.
okay, this
There,
one. Okay.
there.
So either way, whichever one, like, even if it was this one or the bottom one, that's where you technically should be selling if you want to give it more wiggle room. So I think your thing to work on is giving the chart more wiggle room so you can squeeze out more profits potentially, which means, hey, once it, I need to did it like if you want to get out of the trade, you're like, hey, did it hit my stop loss? If so, let me get out. Or if it didn't, then I guess I need to stay in this trade. Unless it was, like something like this one over here. You waited for this one, so this one was nice. But like if it's, doing all this, but let's say it did it for all the way over to here, then it's like, okay, well, let me just get out. Certain point, if it hasn't moved above VWAP as this example anyway, which is just using kind of common sense in that point for the most part. So that's really the two examples we basically kind of went over, where I verbally went over earlier. So does that make sense?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to weigh when because you're winning, and then because you didn't close it the trade, so now you're losing. So, but I mean,
No,
I'm gonna
no, no.
I'm gonna set a
Correction,
plan.
correction on that. Especially on this one here, you were never losing. You were either break even or slightly, very slightly in profit based off of where your entry was. So there's
Yeah.
actually not a losing. You never were losing.
Okay.
So you lost money that you didn't even cash out yet, which is just these two candles. And furthermore than that, because from the sound of it, it seems like you're looking. So it seems like you're watching the 1 minute price action, which is great, but you're looking too far into it to say that, I guess, in one way, which means that you need to focus a little more higher to say that, hey, here's the 1 minute candle. I can see where it's going, but I don't care until it closes, because you need to focus on, hey, when the candle closed, what does it tell me after that? That way you're not because realistically, if I go back a little bit, can I delete? Let's see, eraser, and take this off and put the white part back. So because if you don't look at that and you look at the entire candle itself as it's forming, you basically say, okay, it was green for literally 30 seconds, because like you said, it's not a doji, but it's almost damn near a doji. It was green for 30 seconds, then it went down for another 30 seconds of red, then it kind of went back up to close for like, I don't know, 5 seconds as red anyway. So you're like, well, I don't know what this thing is doing. Then the next one was red. I guess it started going down as red mostly. But it started a little bit going up as green for maybe 5 to 10 seconds or so. It's a lot of data that you're looking at. So it's like colors back and forth. So wait for the candle to close, then make your move. Because realistically,
Yeah, I understood that in one of your
okay,
videos. You said that you don't mind the I say the wick.
yep,
That you need to wait until the candle is closed to decide what you're gonna do.
exactly. Unless
Yeah.
it's just like flying down, obviously that's a different story. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
which is
Maurice,
rare anyway.
with your technique, I can tell you that it's like a most of the time it's correct. My analysis is fine, but I'm messing it up with the closing the deals before it has to be closed. So basically, I think that I understood how to get into the trade. Now I need to wait more and just breathe.